Welcome back to another SLAB Talk episode after my mini rant this morning. And now I'm even fuller caffeinated. I felt a need to discuss this topic further. Overgrading, stricter company between CBCS and CGC. Okay, it's pretty clear where I am in this argument. I use CGC more than CBCS. Correct. Has I received books from CGC that is overgraded? Yes. Have I received books from CGC that are undergraded? Yes. And have I received books from CGC that I felt were fairly graded? Yes. All three. Okay? Same thing can apply for CBCS. Sure, I only submit 3 batches to CBCS in the first year of business. But over the past year, I have won a few CBCS slabs from Comic Link auctions. So I have a half dozen time or so won various CBCS slabs, okay? And I can tell you, the same thing can be said with CBCS. I have received books that I submit myself that I consider gift grade. And I have received books that I submit myself that I thought was harshly graded. And then there are many that are fairly graded. I'm okay with that. I view that grading is not an exact science, okay? I'm confident in my grading skills, but at the same time, I know, and I have kept track, yes, I have kept track, that roughly 80 to 85% of the time I agree with the grading companies, whether it's CBCS or CGC, about 80 to 85% of the time. The other time, half and half, 15% could be overgraded or undergraded. Okay, so there are the outliers, but they are not the predominant data. If overgrading and undergrading is a predominant results of many submissions of many people, I don't think many people would trust CGC. Okay, that's just my view. You can disagree with that if you wish. The thing is, for those that have been in this hobby for a long time, okay, I can say that I have been in the slab environment now for 10 plus years. So I have seen a lot. I have submitted a lot. So I have seen enough samples to say that there are overgraded books. I can see with my own eyes. That's why I stress multiple times here that you should look at the book, study the book instead of just trust the number. Okay? And then there are plenty of books that you can look and see that they have flaws that you can fix, that can be upgradable. Okay, so at the end of the day, you know, it's easy to pick out a book and say that book is overgraded. It's also easy to pick out a book and say that book is undergraded. It's very easy from both companies. It is silly, absolutely silly to say somebody is stricter because this is what I saw in these 5 books, or sorry, don't buy it, okay? Because I have seen enough. Everybody that submit books to CBCS and CGC will attest that they have gotten gift graded, okay? They have. If you have submit hundreds of books over the past 5 years to CBCS or CGC, I can guarantee you some of the books that you got back got much better grades than you expected. It happens. Some of them could be gift graded. Some of them could have been flaws that was not as big of a deal as you thought they were, all right? And then there are books that you got back that you felt was harshly graded because the flaws was not as bad as you thought they were, you missed some flaws, whatever reason. The bottom line is everyone that has been in this game long enough has seen the spectrum on both ends from both companies. And it is absolutely silly to come out with a statement that say, oh, this company is stricter because I see this. For those that have been in the slabbing game long enough, and I don't need to tell you, that even with CGC over the past 20 years, they have cycles of tight grading and loose grading. I don't know the reasons, I don't care about the reasons, but if you belong to the CGC forum, you have heard this discussed just about every year. Okay? People will talk about, is it a tough time, a bad time to submit books because they are going through a tight cycle, or this is a good time to try to sneak in a few books and get a few gift grade because they're in a loose cycle. This has happened for 20 years with CGC. The same thing with CBCS, I guarantee you, is human. We are talking about human here. These are not robots. Humans can make mistakes. Human can see things with different lenses. Okay, so it is absolutely moronic to expect that the standard that you see with a book from a company is the standard that they have every time they see a book with exact same flaws. It doesn't happen that way. Every time I hear somebody bring up the topic that some company, a company, is stricter than the other company, they seem to completely ignore that many books doesn't fit that argument. But they like to spin a narrative that fit the argument. Okay, I can bring out 5 slabs right now. Easily, I can bring out 5 slabs right now from my thing and show you that, hey, look at these 5 slabs. They look undergraded. Guess what? CGC is tight. That's how I look at the people that like to bring up this topic every time. It doesn't mean anything. It's absolutely non-subjective. Okay? And it's even more idiotic when I hear someone say, I bought 5 CBCS slabs recently. I cracked them out, I pressed them, I cleaned them, I resubmit them to CGC, and all of them got higher grade. Thus, CBCS is a tighter company. Really? That's how you base your opinions after you press and clean all of those books. Damn, right? Trust me. I try my best to bring a non-biased view to this topic every time I discuss either CBCS, PGX, and CGC. If you watch enough comparison or discussion I had with PGX, you don't hear me say that they are a fraud company, they are scammers. I don't say that. The only thing that I said about PGX is the inconsistency in grading tend to be higher occurrences compared to CGC and CBCS. Go back and find that video and you'll see it. That's about the most negative comment that I had with PGX. Okay, I don't sit there and say, oh, the business is not legit. I don't care if it's legit or not. All I care is that, yes, in my view, there is more inconsistency with PGX. Thus, would I buy a PGX slab? Absolutely. If I have a chance to see it with my own hands and eyes, close up, so I can examine the books myself. I trust my eyes more than I trust anybody at PGX, CGC, or CBCS. That's me. Okay, so I hope my view on this topic is clear. Is that grading is not set in stone. It's not a perfect science. There are undergraded books. There are overgraded books. Company can go through cycles where they are tight graders or loose graders. It's all depend on who they also hire, what kind of training they have. Over time, people, even graders, grader might start out, new graders might start out very tight. Okay, I can guarantee you, if you talk to both CGC and CBCS graders, they will tell you a lot of newer, younger graders tend to be tighter graders. You know why? Because they're so used to see modern books that are perfect, straight edge, razor sharp corners, right? The moment they see rounded corners and spine ticks, it's like, oh my God, it's ugly. So the training take times, and I can see how younger, newer graders tend to be tighter. So that happens. So as both companies hire more graders, I can see cycles of tight grading happen, and I see cycles of loose gradings happen. Okay, it's just, that's the facts of life. It's been around as long as CGC has been around. Let me remind you who runs CBCS. It's the same people, a lot of the same people that work for CGC. So don't kid yourself that something is vastly different. It is not. Try to look at it with non-biased views. Okay, I have one loyalty here. I have loyalty to, I use CGC for one reason: more of this. Okay, that's it. If CBCS can get me more of this, guess what? I will be submitting more to CBCS. Bottom line, that's it. Everyone that said, oh, I'd rather buy CBCS slab because they are cheap, well, guess what? The reason why you can buy them for cheap, 20 to 30% below fair market value, is there are people willingly, knowingly submitting those books so that you can get them for cheap. Thank them. Oh, I'm sure some people will disagree, but I don't care. Thanks for watching. I hope at least I explained myself better when it comes down to what I think about the grading standards at all the companies. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.